they had this like flashy trailer. We saw a lot of people having fun with the system, but what is it going to cost? Because a lot of people want to pre-order it right now, but yeah, go ahead and pre-order it. But what if it turns out to be $500? I don't think that that's the case, but still, it's like not a normal console. We can't really see, okay, that the specs. Let's look at other consoles with those. Okay, it will probably be around that because it's like a handheld you take with you. It has really a lot of weird moving parts. It has this dock. It has this, yeah, these Pro controller as well. So what do you think the Nintendo Switch will cost?
I think that it will likely, if they were smart, there would be two different bundles. You can get the portable for $200 or $250. And then the portable plus the other module for like $399. If they are stupid, they're going to bundle all of it together and only do it for $399. If they do it for any less than that altogether, I'm worried about the performance angle of it, and I definitely believe the rumors, if that's the case, the price being lower than $399, that the Nintendo Switch's tablet, aka the portable mode, only lasts 3 hours and has like 3 hours battery life. And then you mentioned jokingly on Skype that it's like probably like an hour or two with the heavy games going at one time.
I totally believe that.
That would be extremely bad for the console, because the main thing is that it's a handheld and a home console hybrid that you could utilize both angles evenly. I would expect and want at least 6 hours of battery life gaming on it, if not 8, because that's its only real thing is gaming, and that's what it's sort of marketed towards. But I don't think Nintendo, honestly, at this point, considering all the other stuff I've heard about the console ever since it was announced, I don't think that they're probably going to be smart about it. And they're going to sort of make some of the same mistakes as they did before, and I think that includes the quality of the parts. Like where in the Wii U there wasn't even a multi-touch display, it was just a single touch display, and it wasn't really that great quality, and the controller itself didn't really feel that sturdy. It was very flimsy, at least what the ones I've tried. I think they're going to make some of the same mistakes in that regard, and that's why I think the price will probably be like $399, because they will cut corners and they will release it for a lower price because they know that's their market. But what they don't understand is that market for what they're trying to do is not going to be a way for them to execute properly, and they're going to cut corners and cause the console to possibly be a failure in that regard.
And you say that the $399 is like, so they put it on the market for just $399, right? It's not like this is the bundle where you also get like Zelda or the Pro controller, because
no, that's with a game and stuff like that, because they usually would have a bundle like that for the same somewhat cost of this, like the console in general, just to sort of market it more. So
for example, with the Wii U, they did this like basic bundle, and you had like 12 gigs or even less. It was like
8 gigs.
So you could just install like the firmware, and that was about it. And they also had this like Pro bundle with some Wii U, I think a Pro controller if I'm not mistaken, and of course 32 gigs. So that was better. I think that they will go for the same approach in one hand. On the other hand, I think they will not go for the same approach, because why would you go for the same approach as the failure that was the Wii U? So I think that the like basic price, because if you say what you say is true, and I believe that as well, I think it's not smart to do $399. But yeah, of course, if we look at the system, they have to do something to, I mean, they also want to make money on the system like they always do. So maybe it would be smart for them to now say, okay, let's eat it for a year or two, then sell the console on a profit, because they are like in a hole right now. But I think that $399 Zelda Pro controller is probably legit, and then $299 for just the console. And while I totally believe that like a handheld only system is in the cards, I think it would be very, very smart to do that. Get more people on board that just want to play like they play the DS, just give them the option to jump in like at a very low cost, because that's also what you did with the 2DS, and from what we heard, that's pretty successful. I mean, you can play the new Pokemon game with, and get the system as well for, I think, $99. So that's huge. I mean, a lot of people that are, it's especially for kids that don't really, want to spend a lot of money on this system because they're stuck with iPad gaming. So why would I go and buy a DS for $199 if I have my iPad here? So $299 or $99 dollars is, it's a good like spot. Of course, the Switch can't be that from the get-go, but to have a handheld $249, I think that would be smart. But they might just release it like later on in the life cycle to have a lot of people that just want to have the Switch right now buy everything, and then later to the people, all the early adopters are in. They've paid way more dollars than they maybe would if you would also release this handheld version. Then later on say, let's do the handheld version.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on sort of the parts that they put in the thing. I mean, we don't really have too much information regarding the tech specs. We do know that there is a custom Tegra chip by NVIDIA inside of the Switch itself, but we don't really know if it's a like equivalent to the Tegra 2, which would be equivalent to like the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, or if it's a Tegra 1, which is not even close, or if it's in between, which might sort of still not really be close enough to where it should be. So we don't really know in terms of that regard what we are looking at. As far as the resolution display, that's another question. As far as what types of batteries does it have, what type of everything does it have is sort of the big question mark, especially with the module as well, the extra module that you can put the Switch into. So we don't really know too much about the system other than sort of what it can do in terms of some of the features. Like you can obviously take the Switch out of its sort of performance module or just normal module, and you could put the controllers on it. You could take it on the go, and then you could take the controllers off, and you can set it up, and you could do all these different things with it. It's a really, when I watched the trailer, I was hyped for it. Like I will say, a lot of people probably think that I just hate the console. I don't. I think that the trailer did a lot of great things, but everything that I heard afterwards, like for example, the third-party games, the third-party games that they showed, 2K17 and Skyrim Remastered, are not actually confirmed as releases for the console. Just the partnerships. The partnerships are the things that are confirmed between Bethesda and 2K.
It will be a big middle finger if the games were not coming. I totally believe that they are, but they just are not talking about the games right now. They are talking about the games in 2017. They said this, so Bethesda and 2K cannot confirm this yet. But why? I mean, that's like releasing a commercial of a Sony is releasing a commercial of a Halo game. Yeah, but we don't have it, but look, it looks awesome, right? Doesn't make sense. So I think it will totally end up.
It's certainly worrying because it kind of makes you think that the next trailer that they're going to release or the next thing of gameplay is going to have a bunch of kids in it, and it's not really going to be at all focused for third party. It seemed like they sort of just threw a lot of their critics a bone with how they did the trailer. And I don't think that they actually are 100% sincere with this direction. I hope they are. I'm just skeptical because of the failures that they had with the Wii and the Wii U. Sure, the Wii sold a lot, but that was based off the gimmick of motion controls, and the software really underperformed, like greatly underperformed. But the Wii U just completely was bad all around. I mean, obviously the game quality, first-party game quality wasn't, but that's not really what we're basing this off of. We're basing off of sales and hardware sales and whatnot, overall console performance. The Switch, I think, has a better shot as long as it meets the performance marks it needs to. Like, it needs to be at least as strong as the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Bare minimum, Xbox One. I want to see it around the PlayStation 4. That way there's a little bit more leeway. It really depends also with the battery life and how they plan on bringing the third parties on, considering it is on a Tegra infrastructure. That also opens the door for possible, more Android-based games to be thrown onto it. I don't think they will do that, but it definitely does also help with the media expansion for Nintendo, for them to put like Netflix and a bunch of other stuff on there that already works on that infrastructure. So that should be good. It says that it will display 4K, but as we were discussing before, I think that is 4K video. And it also can display on 4K TVs, but it's just upscaled with no extra rendering, because I don't think it will have the performance available for extra special types of rendering to upscale it to 4K. I think it's going to be like the 1080p image or whatever ends up being. It's probably going to be 1080p, or hopefully it's not 720p. Worst, I hope
The
it's
handheld
900p.
screen will be 720.
That's fine, but I'm talking like with the performance module and everything.
No, the performance module, they said that there's like in this console dock there's like some extra bells and whistles that can make it do 1080p and 4K video probably.
Yeah,
so
and then also just drag that 1080p image up to 4K, so that way you can still obviously use your 4K TV with it. But it's not going to have any special sort of upscaling technology like with the PlayStation 4 Pro and all the other types of things that we've seen. But yeah, I honestly am lukewarm about it. It's one of those things where I need to see a lot more. I think that them waiting till 2017 to talk about it further is absolutely stupid, beyond belief. They need to talk about it frequently because people need to know there's a new Nintendo console out there, and they need to know that they are working to improve instead of be the same failure that the Wii U was, which a lot of people probably still don't even know that the Wii U was an actual console, and probably still think it's an addition to the Wii, which is probably why a lot of people didn't even buy the dang thing, because casual consumers just probably didn't associate, if they were different. But luckily the Switch is a different name. That will help. Price probably will be $299. They'll probably cut corners, but I hope there's separate bundles, or it's a straight up $399. That way it's actually a good console and they didn't cut corners. So yeah,
it will be super interesting. I mean, if we look at the upcoming games right now, we also don't see a lot of NX support. Of course, the games are not announced yet, but still, we don't know. I mean, Red Dead, one of the biggest games of 2017, will not be on this system, and that will run fine probably on a normal Xbox One and a PlayStation 4. So that's like something to already think about. The games they showed, Skyrim, released 5 years ago. This is a remastered version, of course, but yeah, they could probably work around that and have it work on the Switch. Then NBA. I don't believe that that's like a super hardware-heavy game, right?
It's not,
because it also releases on like a lot of other platforms. So what I'm trying to say here is that this looks like a Wii U situation to me, where they released Batman Arkham Armored Edition and all those other Darksiders too that released a year ago. Here, have it, Wii U. Yeah, have some launch games. Put it in your trailers, then you look cool. But in the end, the third party will... Why would you... I mean, they also have cartridges, right? They don't really have normal discs. So why would, like, Bethesda, of course, with Skyrim, okay, they probably made a deal because Nintendo knows, whoa, it has been a dream for many players to take Skyrim with you on the road. Well, now you can, but a lot of people already played Skyrim. Anyway, why would Bethesda go, okay, we have this new awesome open world RPG for PS4, Xbox One, the Switch, yeah, I mean, they have to spend probably a ton of money. Maybe if Nintendo wants to help them out a little bit, they can do it. But on the other hand, I don't see big third-party games from 2017, or The Witcher 3 will probably not be able to run on the Switch. And you don't want that game. I mean, that game is also already out. So you want new games, but right now, a lot of people say, yeah, we will support it. But if you look at Activision, I don't think it means Call of Duty. No, I think it means Skylanders. Ubisoft, not the new Assassin's Creed. No, Just Dance 2017. So we're still in this weird situation where the third-party games are there, but not the ones that you as a hardcore gamer want. And I think that will still be the problem with the Switch.
I do too, and that's the issue with the cartridges and what limits they're going to sort of place on developers. Like, are they going to allow developers to choose from different sizes, or they have set sizes that they're going to be distributing and sort of working with developers with, and what can the Switch itself handle? Because the cartridges, like an SD cards and whatnot, they can store a lot of stuff. It's just, what does Nintendo support? And that's going to be the question mark, because games like Call of Duty, they won't even fit on, like 60 gigs of space. I believe the new one's like way, way big. I think it's like 100 gigs, right? Yeah, 130.
130, but that's probably with the remaster, because you need the disc from Infinite Warfare to play the remaster there.
Yeah, but the point of the matter is a lot of games are getting a lot bigger. And they're just getting bigger and bigger with higher res stuff being put on the disc, a lot more content. So they need to have a lot of flexibility with those cartridges for it to work. I'm all for cartridges. I think it's a good idea in the terms of the potential for storage is greater than that of Blu-ray, but will they hinder that with the fact that they just place limits on everything and force you to download patches and whatnot, like day one patches and download the rest of the game even? I don't think they'll do that, but it's not really out of the realm of possibility. And it definitely is a cause for concern, like you mentioned, especially with third-party games.
Yeah, and also like a lot of games don't really work out of the box. You have to download patches and stuff like that first if you have no online connection. Some games don't even work. So how will they work on the Switch? If you take them on the road, do you have to be connected at all times? It doesn't make sense. So then you also eliminate big games like Destiny, The Division, stuff like that. So I really think that they have a problem there. And I think they didn't make it easy for developers to jump on this console as well. And I think that it will totally hinder the third-party support. But will it matter in the end? I mean, they will have more games than they had with the Wii U, and that's simply because a lot of games from the Wii U, probably the Mario game, Zelda, of course, we know this. It was all planned for Wii U, but yeah, they decided to put it on the Switch. Because they want to sell this new console and the Wii U was dead anyway. So they will have those games and the 3DS games. I mean, Nintendo says, okay, we're going to support the 3DS. Of course you're gonna, because why wouldn't you be? There are like 50 million DSs out there. So that makes a lot of sense. But then suddenly the developers that are now, would be making like DS games, can now focus on the Switch as well. So then you also have a lot of more like first party games. So they don't really need, we also have this other platform that we need to support. No, they can all focus on the Switch. So they will have probably this Mario game out in 2017. Then they will also have maybe a new Pokemon game. A Pokemon game on a Nintendo console is like super big. So I think that those things are also super interesting to look at.